Okay, it is a very special day here at Spirit 105.3. Our very special guest is a star. She shines so brightly for Jesus. You can feel it the minute she walks into the studio. Jaqueline, welcome home.
Oh my God, thanks for having me today. It's such an amazing thing to be here. Like I was saying to everyone here, it's always been a dream of mine to be on this station. I've been listening to the station for quite a long time now, since I was younger. And so it's a really, like, what Make-A-Wish has done to me and has helped me get into this whole station is amazing.
Why did you ask Make-A-Wish? Why was Spirit 105.3 part of your wish, Jaqueline?
Because I had wanted to be on this station and wanted to share my story and give maybe some encouragement to people out there that went through something similar or something that they're going through.
So your wish is to tell your story and to encourage others on Spirit 105.3.
Yes.
That is so huge. We just want to say thank you. It's such an honor. And honestly, that's why I said welcome home, because you are part of the family. And it means a lot that you listen and that you've been encouraged. And now, girl, it's your turn. Your wish is coming true right now. What is your story, Jaqueline?
Well, my story is last year I got diagnosed with cancer in October. Before then, I had not been sick. I was normal and everything until I started getting, my lymph nodes were inflamed. And so I didn't know that. I just thought it was normal. And so I had gone to the doctor and they had told me that it wasn't normal. We had done scans and they had told me that it wasn't normal. And so they had scheduled me an appointment with my oncology team, which I love so much. We really do have to pray for doctors and nurses because they really do a lot, even though we sometimes don't think they do.
Wow. I hear the gratitude in your voice.
And so I went to my appointment and we did more scans there. And they told me that my doctor had told me there that he was certain that I had lymphoma, but we did not know yet because we hadn't done a biopsy yet. So he had scheduled my biopsy like 2 days after. I did my biopsy and my parents found out that day that I had cancer, but they did not know. They knew, but I did not know yet. They decided not to tell me. And so, which in a way for me was good because I didn't want to know the news right away and cry.
Yeah.
So they told me 2 days later, and because I had gone, I got a biopsy, and at the same time they put in my port. And so I went, and then I went to my appointment 4 days after, and they told me that I did have lymphoma. It was Hodgkin's lymphoma, and I went and they explained what was going to happen, chemos and side effects and loss of hair, appetite, like losing weight. And like I tell everyone, for me, I did all the processing before I went into treatment. I cried all my tears, I cried about my hair loss, I cried about all that was going to happen beforehand. So when I went into treatment, I wasn't sad. I went in with a positive attitude and I just went as a happy kid. I lost my hair. My mom cried. I just laughed about it.
Wow.
Because I knew that it was going to grow back. And all of that treatment was harsh on me. The first chemo I had.
Sure.
First round of chemo that I had was pretty hard on me. I went as a happy kid, as a happy teenage girl, and I came out so sick. I came out terribly sick with all these drugs that they were putting in me, and chemo was crazy. But something that I did not lose was my faith in God. My parents would go to church. I sometimes would have to stay home because doctors would tell me not to go out because of how low my ANC was. And I didn't go out, but they would always attend church when they could. And that's something I enjoy of my parents and something I will always cherish is that my parents are so good with faith. I had faith too. And I always prayed to God every time. We would sit down before every chemo, pray. And something about that too is that I had such amazing nurses too. They would pray for me. I had this one amazing nurse. Her name was Precious. She prayed for me all the time. It was crazy how someone that you don't know that's close to you still loves you as if they're your own child. I had such amazing nurses and I will forever be happy. But obviously being sick and having cancer isn't the best thing.
Right.
But me as personally, I always made it as a joke.
Yeah.
I always made it a joke.
Humor.
Exactly. I would always make it a joke. I would laugh about it. I'd be like, oh, I'm sick. But that's because I didn't want my process to be depressing. I didn't want to feel sad. I knew that God was going to make a miracle in my life.
Wow.
And obviously I'm a miracle because there's a lot of kids or a lot of people that struggle with cancer or have it, and they don't make it. They don't get out. They don't get out of the fight. And so that's something that makes me happy. I got to survive, and obviously I always pray to God, and obviously in those moments when I was sick and when I found out, I prayed. I really prayed because I knew that God was going to do a miracle in my life, and he did.
Wow. Okay, Jaqueline, for somebody who's never prayed before and they're going through something right now, what did prayer look like for you? How do you talk to God? Because clearly you have a friendship with the Lord.
I know a lot of people don't pray, but we would sit down, pastors would come over, we would pray for my health, pray for anyone at that hospital, we would pray for nurses, we would pray for doctors. That was a thing that we would do. Pastors would come over to my house, would go over to the hospital every time. They would pray for me. And I will always appreciate that because without God or the Lord with me, I don't know where I would have been now. And that's something I love and will always be grateful for, is my parents taking me to church at such a young age because I got to grow with the Lord, and it's something that helped me through my treatment.
That's incredible. How did God show up for you in some of the tougher moments? Like you talked about feeling sick after some of your treatments. How did you know that he was there and with you?
I knew he was there. There was when I first found out I had cancer, that told me, because they give you an estimate time on how long treatment will last. They told me around 4 to 6 months. And literally right after my first chemo, cancer was going away.
Wow.
It was going away in just my first round of chemo. And I knew that the Lord was with me. And I remember there was this one pastor, he told me, I felt when all that lifted up you. And it was crazy to me, but I knew the Lord was with me because he just first round of chemo, he had already done miracles.
Oh, that is so beautiful. So you got contacted by Make-A-Wish, or you reached out to them? How did that work?
They told me during my treatment that there was going to be a Make-A-Wish, and I didn't know what that, I knew what that was before I got sick.
Sure.
It was funny because me and my mom used to donate money, and it was crazy. And so I always talked to her about it. I'm like, that's crazy how we used to donate money, and never knowing that I was going to be one of those kids getting the money that people donated it. And so my oncology told me that I would have a wish, but they told me if I wanted to do it during my treatment or after, but I decided to wait just because I didn't want to be sick during my Make-A-Wish, so I decided to wait.
And what was your wish? Because we hear it was epic.
My wish was Sweet 16, which is quinceañera. It was the most amazing thing. I didn't have one when I actually turned 15 because I decided to get something else. My parents gave me the option, but I decided not to. But I'm really happy that I got both options.
Wow. What was the party like? Paint the picture for us.
It was fun. We did like a whole dance. I had family, I had friends. I got to dance with my uncle. I got to dance with my best friend. I love my best friend. I love her. She was there throughout my whole treatment. And I tell her yesterday, I was on a call with her, and I was telling her, to me, when I first decided to have a party, I always knew that I wanted her to be a part of my party. I do not care how I was going to get her to be a part of my party. But I knew that she was going to be a part of my party in some way or some form. And so when I decided she was going to dance with me, it was a total surprise. She didn't know until I went and announced her name. And as soon as I announced her name, we both started crying because it was just something that was dear to me. And she's like a sister to me. I tell her, you're like my sister to me. She goes over to my house. My mom loves her. she's taught her to cook. And then she's over here asking me at like 10 p.m. asking me, can you send me a recipe of your mom's? I want food, but I just don't want my food. I just want your mom's food. And I'm like, okay. And I go looking for a recipe.
Oh, that's so sweet. So you got to dance with your best friend, your uncle. What else?
And my dad.
And your dad. What
Yes.
else set that party like apart for you? What made it extra special? Your favorite moment of the night?
My favorite moment of the night was probably dancing with my court. That was
Oh.
the most special, amazing thing that I could have ever dreamed of. At the beginning, when I started picking people to join my court, there was people I had asked, and they had told me no. And so I was like, I'm not going to do it. And then I started finding people. I obviously found people, and with them, we had such amazing practices. We had such amazing friend group, and we've already planned stuff together as a group, and we all made friendships.
Oh, that's so awesome. So another part of your Make-A-Wish was coming on Spirit 105.3 to tell your story.
Yes.
So what I want to ask you now is you talked about listening as a child, listening on your way to chemo treatments. How has this station been a friend to you throughout your life, Jaqueline?
The music that you guys play is amazing, but literally everyone the music on there that is played made my chemo so much better. It felt amazing. And I, as a patient, it was hard to listen to music. I didn't want to listen to music. And so when I would listen to the station, it would warm me up.
Wow.
And the music that is played on there, I think someone that inspired me so much was Annie Wilson. She inspired me so much through my treatment of her story and how she lost her brother Jacob. And it inspired me because of how strong she stayed throughout the whole process, and that inspired me to stay positive and strong. And I love her, and I love her music.
Wow. So when you were driving to chemo, you felt like maybe God was saying, I'm here through Spirit 105.3. Was that one of the ways he spoke to you?
Yes, he did.
Oh, that's powerful.
I would always play that station. It will never change that I will never listen to this station. I'll always listen to the station because it's something that I could never listen to any other music. Or any other station. I just want to listen to the station, and it warms me up, and I know that Jesus is making you guys and helping you guys through this whole station.
You better believe it. Who taught you to have a positive attitude?
I'd say my parents.
Yeah.
I've always had a positive attitude with anything. I cry. I think everyone does. But everything I do or everything I do for Jesus, I always go into a positive attitude. I never go in with a sad attitude. Like I was saying with my treatment, I never went in with a sad attitude. I always went with a positive attitude because I know that the Lord was with me throughout my whole process, and I know because that's why I'm here and that's why I'm standing here.
You really are a miracle. I want to ask you, like, if there is somebody right now listening and they're just stuck in life, they are not feeling positive, what is the one thing you would want to say to them right now? Speak to their heart.
Go lead more to God. God will always be there. Without faith, you can't get things done. And I've learned that because without him, you can never get anywhere or do anything in life. It's stay positive. Lean more to Jesus because he will always be there for you. You just got to look for him and follow his message, and you will not be sick anymore. Or whoever's going through sickness, be positive. I know that you'll get out of what you're going through right now. Yes, it's hard. I'm not going to lie that it is hard, but you will get through it, and just believe in God.
Oh, Jaqueline, she's a miracle on Spirit 105.3. Thank you for hanging out with us.
Thank you so much today.
You're
Thank
a
you so
blessing.
much.